Go ahead.
All right. News. Here we go. The FBI has arrested 5 people in connection with the drone attack plot against the White House UFC Freedom 250 event. This is pretty crazy. So this terror attack was basically drones armed with explosives were going to be the initial wave of shock, targeting high-level officials, and then sending kind of a panicked crowd to choke points for a second wave with snipers in place to take people out like the Vegas shooting.
Right. Now, what if we just had my attack crows that were trained to take out drones up on the mansard of all the buildings around that UFC event? Wouldn't you sleep better at night, everybody?
I mean, these crows would have stepped on the sword for their fellow countrymen. They would have been heroes.
I guarantee you the government is training hawks for drones.
Oh,
right
absolutely.
Now, right now.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, that group, there's one group, that terrorist group or whatever, homegrown, whatever. First off, Dawson, I hope you're sitting down. The ringleader's an illegal who shouldn't be in this country. Who got to stay here.
Coming.
Alleged plot is a Mexican illegal alien. Oh, these are innocent, hardworking people who are family-oriented. Shut the fuck up. A lot of them want us to die, you fucking idiots. Back to ICE. Number one. Number two, the 19-year-old guy whose mom dropped a dime on him, do you know what that guy looks like?
No.
He is 19. He looks like a 47-year-old long-haul trucker. Like he is 19. He is bald. He is fat. I mean, he looks. I cannot believe this human being is 19. The guy, I believe the guy whose mom called in. And by the way, if you want to pull this stuff off and you're still living at home, don't share with your mom.
Yeah, no.
Put this guy full screen here. Make it.
Yeah. Oh,
this
my
guy
God.
is. This guy's 19. 19. Go down a little though. I mean, he's literally bald.
He's
bald.
bald.
I don't mean yes. He's 19. He's had a lot of rough years at 19.
No.
All right, sorry.
What are you doing? No, well, luckily...
Listen, I know it's not his fault, but how do you go bald at 19? I mean, that takes work.
No, that guy... I do not believe that guy's 19. He looks like he's 47.
It said he's 9.
Yeah.
It said he's 19. He was obviously living at home with his mom.
All right. Jesus. Well, speaking of mothers, our next news story, James Tallarico, 37, it is come to light that he shares his checking account with his mom. His mother. This is the Democratic nominee running against Ken Paxton in the Senate race in Texas.
Yeah, the lady who is running Seattle, who is the socialist.
Katie Wilson.
Also, her mom and parents are like taking care of her.
Oh,
just a weird thing. And then what's his name? Platner has mom and dad issues too. I guess it's the New World Order.
It's
your mom and your dad.
Well, speaking of Platner, I had Joey and I put together what I think would be a really fun sitcom. Mm-hmm. Because if we could get Platner and Tallarico together in some sort of a living situation where Roomies, exactly.
Starring Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, it's the landlord.
It's a funny AI movie poster or television poster.
I would watch this show.
You go to Carolla.com. We'll put it up there so you can see it. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, speaking of AI, legendary filmmaker Martin Scorsese is in the middle of a backlash after endorsing an AI company, Black Forest Labs. He has agreed to come on as an advisor to this company, saying he wants to push the boundaries of creativity to create a deeper and richer experience for audiences. Now, you have some filmmakers like Spielberg who's come out to support him, saying, hey, listen, this is just a tool in a tool chest. And then you have other people like Guillermo del Toro saying he'd rather die than use AI.
I don't know who these pretentious pricks are that do this shit. Look, I'm a car guy. I've always been a car guy. I've had tons of race cars, and nobody burns fossil fuels like this guy. I mean, when that race shit comes up and I got to buy that 116 octane Sunoco shit, 5-gallon jug of that is like $200. It's or more. It's ridiculous how much I spend on fuel in race cars. When electric cars started coming out, it was the same posturing with the car guy. Like, hey, bro, you get away from my Hemi. I have an electric car. It drives great. Tons of torque. Fucking fast. Fun and easy. Quiet. This car guy drives an electric car, so shut the fuck up. And Del Toro, shut the fuck up, too. It's a bunch of posturing. Is it Del Toro?
Yeah.
Bunch of posturing bullshit. I like I said, I lived it all through the car thing. It's not like they even knew or cared. They just took some sort of bullshit stance. It's just, they're basically college students standing with Palestine. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just complaining and pushing back and taking heroic stances. I love Che Guevara. Fuck off.
Well, it's interesting, specifically with filmmaking, because it feels like we've seen this before with digital filmmaking, where people are like, oh, no, you have to shoot on film or else it doesn't count. This, that, and the other thing. And, it's also, I, for one, believe in the lump of labor fallacy, which is people will think a certain invention will destroy an industry when, in fact, it does the exact opposite. It increases productivity, like with the printing press, or even like with the camera when it came out, the actual photo camera.
Well, I agree. I drive up and down PCH every day. I see excavators doing the work of 400 donkeys, and it's just one dude working that excavator, man. And that's a big, giant robot that takes the place of a ton of labor. And that's fine. Yeah. Faster and easier.
Exactly. All right. Now, local news. Altadena, which we haven't really explored yet for the vlog. There was a town hall this Tuesday, and hundreds of Altadena residents pushed back against a proposal that would transform their single-family neighborhood devastated by the Eaton fire. It turns out that roughly half of the properties sold in the burn zone since the wildfire in 2025 have been purchased by developers to be developed for large multi-unit housing.
Yeah, so that's what the politicians want. The politicians in California would like everyone to live on top of each other and ride a bike to work and not have any car, any space, any freedom, any firearms, anything our founding fathers dreamt of. They're against it. And they can't pull this shit off so much in the Palisades because it's an affluent neighborhood and people aren't down with this. And certainly not going to work in Malibu either. They can't build anything in Malibu. But Altadena is a much lower income area, and they can shoehorn in those apartment buildings into that area. And listen, I lived in La Cañada for a million years. Every year they're trying to get low cost, multiple unit, whatever. And everyone in La Cañada went, now, by the way, that's why La Cañada's nice. It's a bunch of fucking normal people who pay taxes, take care of their kids, and pick up their dog's shit. Not a bunch of fucking animals in apartment buildings.
No, that's why you can actually park in the valley. It's not like West Hollywood, where everything is just on top of each other.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, that is, a resident president called on Gavin Newsom to intervene.
He's not going to intervene.
Do anything.
He wants as much dense housing as humanly possible.
So the two Senate bills in play that are kind of bolstering this, Senate Bill 9 and 1123, are basically allowing property owners in single-family residential zones to subdivide their homes into 4 homes total. They want to push forward Senate Bill 1090, which would keep Altadena land in Altadena Hands Act. But I don't know. Not looking good right now.
It's going to be tough because forget about these Altadenites. Let me just tear a page out of the Carolla family scrapbook. My mom lived in a house, and I grew up in a house that was a $10,000 house that by the time the person that owned the house, my grandmother, died, the house was worth like $750,000 or something like that. And then my mom moved into my grandmother's other house for somebody who hated somebody so much, my mom hated her mom. She did use a lot of her houses. You know what I mean? So I don't know. She should get over it a little bit because she just moved and she's moved from one house to her next house. But here's the whole point. Those houses were bought for $10,000 and $12,000 in the 50s, right in the middle of North Hollywood. If those houses burnt to the ground, they would not be able to rebuild those houses because they never had the income and they didn't have them properly insured to the full amount and so on and so forth. So if those houses that my mom lived in North Hollywood that were paid off in 1961 burnt to the ground, my mom and my stepdad would just sell the property. Of course, not giving any of the proceeds to their kids or anything, but just sell the property, and they just have to move to Idaho or something. They would not be able to afford rebuilding those houses at modern day prices. So that's how a lot of it is in Altadena. A lot of that stuff is underinsured, and a lot of it is people like my mom who can't afford a house, who are living in a house that somebody else bought in the 50s. And now maybe they're school teachers or janitors or something, but school teachers and janitors can't buy a house for $1.7 million in Los Angeles. But if their mom bought the house in 1961, then they could still live in a house. And that was a lot of those families. Not really in the Palisades, not at all in Malibu, I would say. But in those neighborhoods, yes.
Yeah. I had a friend lose his house in Altadena. It was a production designer. Mm-hmm. So bought it when the industry was at a peak. Now it's at a nadir, and it's tough. So it makes sense to completely cash out, sell it, and move. And then
it's not even cash out. It's you don't have this thing insured to the amount that could rebuild it sufficiently, and you don't have money in the bank to rebuild it because you're a school teacher, and someone will give you $500,000 for the lot, you take it, and that's it. They don't have a choice.
Plus, you don't have to deal with rebuilding.
Yep.
All right. Moving to Brazil, the Skeleton Bridge, where the that female bungee jumper was thrown 130 feet to her death without being tethered, is scheduled to be blown up. Blown up to prevent more tragedies in lieu of this.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like you like movies.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen a little number called Gone with the Wind?
Yeah.
Clark Gable loved his little daughter, and he got her that pony, and he put the daughter on the pony, and they ran around. At some point, they were like, "Oh!" And the pony had bucked the kid off, and Clark Gable shot the pony, which, by the way, was perfectly fine at a certain point in this country's history. No one in the movie theater went, "Oh my God!" By the way, every bitch now would have just got up and walked out of the theater because Clark Gable shot that pony. He killed the pony, and I'm saying it's not the pony's fault, and it's not the bridge's fault. Don't shoot the bridge or the pony. Now, the thing that was crazy about the bridge thing is, okay, I'm so fascinated. There had to be alcohol involved with this event because if somebody's fixing to throw you off a bridge and there's no tether on your feet and you're perfectly sober, don't you go, hey, hold up. I'm not feeling any pressure around my ankles. Like I feel like there has to be.
There's some sort of substance.
And I feel like the guys throwing her off the bridge have to have some sort of, because it's like there's a guy in the back who picked her up. There is no tether. It's spooled up, laying on the bridge, and no bystander went like, hold up. Like, nope. They just right off the edge. And then the craziest thing is it looks like they built a sort of a walk the plank kind of little diving board.
We
off
have the video. We'll show the first part of it.
Yeah, I don't like to see her hit the ground.
I don't want to watch the snuff part.
But the guy, they lifted her up. The guy's in the back. He knows. By the way, the one guy's got like. The one guy's got like carabiners and stuff on his belt. Like
he's all geared up.
You lifted her up and just watched her go. the cord is between your legs on the bridge. You really can't yell alto at that particular point. Like, that just... But the thing, they had the video from the other footage, other perspective. There's a guy in the front, and the front guy's just throwing her off this plank with no... It's this... Yeah. He's walking the plank. Oh, wait, they have a safety tether on.
Yeah.
Oh, so the guys doing the throwing made sure they were belted up. So I didn't see that the guy has a tether. He has a tether.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe his tether and her tether. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But this is like a mundane, this is like I'm going to take a picture or film something, but I forgot to take the lens cap off. Like it's got to be so easy to tell. Also, too, for the lady, the deceased lady, bungee jumping, you got to feel like, hey, I don't remember being clicked into something.
Right. That was my original point. That's where
what was happening.
Look, I am saying there's a part of the process of skydiving or bungee jumping or a roller coaster where you just hand over everything to whoever's around you. Like, you do it, it's your job, you know what you're doing. Maybe that. Still, if I didn't feel anything dangling from my feet, I would have brought it up. But I don't know how fast it happened, but that's what makes me think there must be some substance involved because on both ends.
Someone's on pills.
Something's on someone's on something.
I did some illegal bungee jumping up in Northern California near Murphy's, and there's a bridge up there where it's illegal. But I was visiting my brother at Sacramento State when I was in high school, and we went up there, and it's a midnight thing. You know, they set up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
They tie you up, throw you off a bridge. We were all wasted.
Yeah.
And they needed someone of average height and weight to go first. So out of like 22 people, they call my name.
Wow.
So I'm the 17-year-old.
Right.
That had to jump off the bridge first. And believe me, my brother, everybody around, as soon as they called my name, the whole team freaks out. We can't kill Dawson's brother. And so 8 million people grabbed that rope before I jumped off.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
There's nothing...
But you're not saying grabbed it. You're saying 8 million people check that. Yes.
And of course, no amount of alcohol is going to make me not make sure that I am tied in.
I totally agree. This is... It's criminal behavior on their behalf, but on the behalf of the person that signed up for it, now look, I will say this. There is a communication breakdown, perhaps, a language barrier between the folks doing the tying and the person sailing off the end. And that could have factored in.
Yeah, well, this happened in Brazil, which is where that Oliver Tree helicopter crash happened.
Yeah,
like the same week, the same weekend. It's just, I don't know,
I've worked in Brazil. There's no, what's the...
OSHA?
OSHA. There is no OSHA. It's a dangerous place to work. I will tell you this real quick. They did a countdown, and we were supposed to jump. They go, 3, 2, 1, go. They said 3, and I jumped.
Good.
Because I knew if I was getting to 1 and I'm still standing up there, I might not go. So I just went.
Awesome, Dawson. All right, we got one more.
Yeah, well, you wanted to talk about the California Public Utilities Commission.
Yes.
Basically, the framework encourages in some sectors pressures large regulated utilities and public entities to award 1.5% of their annual contracting expenditures to state-certified LGBT-owned businesses.
It made me realize, like, how do you get certified as gay? I told you about the gay games and about how you could vet that by just walking in front of all the contestants and pull your wang out and you'll start sucking it just to try to stop people from gaming the system. I had a thought about a book that Dr. Drew and I wrote 28 years ago that I haven't thought about in a million years, but I had a gay aptitude test in it. It was pretty involved because it had a number system and you'd have to add up all the numbers. It wasn't give yourself a point. It was like give yourself a point for every blah, blah, blah. It was pretty well thought out and documented, but it would take too long to get into it right now. So I think I'm going to take this story and get into it maybe early in tomorrow's show, but there's one thing that drove me nuts, and this is I would say this is my life in a nutshell, and I haven't had this thought in a million years, and I like to complain about general incompetency of people, those around you. I read this book when they gave it to me, and one of the gay aptitude tests, and there's a lesbian aptitude test. And I think on the lesbian aptitude test, I said, just going off of memory, we'll get into it tomorrow, but I said, if you drive a pickup truck, this is lesbian. I said, if you drive a pickup truck, give yourself a point. If you drive a pickup truck and that pickup truck has a lumber rack on it, give yourself 3 points or some version of that. And they gave me this book to proofread before it went to print. And when they gave it to me, the lumber rack said lumbar rack, like lower lumbar, like a seat, right? And then I talked to the editor and I said, there's no such thing as a lumbar rack. That doesn't exist. Well, we didn't know what a lumber rack was or something. I go, this is New York. I go, it's a lumber rack. It's a rack on top of a pickup truck. The guys put lumbar. You drive along the freeway, you see it all the time. But it's not lumbar rack. Lumbar rack doesn't mean anything. It would be confusing if you were taking a test. Give yourself a point for that, a lumbar rack. You invented something. No one knows what it is. So I go, okay. I go, well, you better correct that. I said, okay. And then the book went to print. Then I got it. Then I went to the test, and it said lumbar rack. And that's what I like to say. If this was a war, we'd all be dead.
If this were a bungee cord.
We'd all be dead, because I don't know how much more I can do for you than tell you it's not a lumbar rack and underline it and tell you that doesn't exist, by the way. You invented 2 words that have never been combined, the lumbar rack. And someone should have flagged it because it doesn't make any sense, but I fixed it. But you went to print, and 100,000 copies later, lumbar rack. Ugh. That's how life works, everybody. All right, this Saturday, me and Andrew, everyone, Carson City, man, at the Nugget. 2 shows over there. That ought to be fun. Andrew's a very fine stand-up comedian, by the way. Thursday, the 9th, Las Vegas. You know, you go to Carolla for all the live shows. I want to thank Dr. Art Uleen and his wife Eileen for inspiring us. What's better, Eileen, Uleen, or Elaine Lelaine?
Elaine Lelaine.
I don't think it's better. I think Eileen Uleen.
We all lean.
We all lean.
Yeah,
we all lean. Eileen Uleen. Elaine Lelaine was the leader in the clubhouse. But still is, because there is no Eileen Uleen. True. All right, so until next time, Adam for Andrew and Art saying mahalo.
Pick up your phone, leave us a voicemail. The number is 888-634-1744. Get tickets to see Adam Carolla at adamcarolla.com.